one game left to play. Hey, fantastic. Every single one of you. I mean, I'm not just talking about these last 60 minutes. I'm talking about the quarterback schools, the mini camp, the off-season, the training camp, down in Austin when it was hot and you were tired, the whole bit. Everybody, you did one hell of a job. And the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys?
You know, if you ever listen to me talk any football in person or on this very podcast, you would know how much that I hate the Dallas Cowboys. Now, me being an old-fashioned hater myself, you know, in my division, those are the teams that you hate first. Raiders, Broncos, Chargers, in that order. But I'm going to tell you something, dog. And being a hardcore Chiefs fan, the Raiders and Broncos will always be the most hated, super hated. Raiders first, Broncos second. Like the Chargers, yeah, we don't like them, but it's like we don't care about them. Like they're not significant enough to hate on. And a lot of times I hate the Cowboys more than I don't like the Chargers. It is what it is. I just thought that the Cowboys were just obnoxious for no reason. It'll be different if you talking cash money shit and you can back it up. But the Cowboys and their fans, and this is mostly directed to their fans, they will talk cash money shit to you about how glamorous and how glorious the funky ass Cowboys are with a funky ass star. And it's like, this is not America's team. I don't give a damn about these bastards, or nobody else in my vicinity cares about these bastards. Of course, we know why they call them America's team, with the ratings and the whole marketing ploy and Roger Staubach and this, that, and the third. Okay, whatever. But let it be known though, the Cowboys, and like I said last week on the pod, you will always be the always save Chiefs, because the NFL hated on Lamar Hunt and bringing the team to Dallas. But then the Dallas Texans pop up in the AFL, and all of a sudden you want to make the Cowboys a year later. Anyway, always be the fake Chiefs. But with all that being said, hopefully I got all my Cowboys hate out of my body right now. This Cowboys documentary that's on Netflix, it's riveting. It's really good. It's not Last Dance good. And it's not like, I guess I shouldn't say OJ. I like to compare every sports documentary to 30 for 30. So like OJ, 30 for 30, The Last Dance. Was The Last Dance a 30 for 30? I think it was. Those are those are the standard. And really on a side note, The Last Dance documentary is changing the game, or people are just copying what they did on there as far as a timeline is, and connecting two stories at once. And I guess you kind of got to do that a lot of times. I love how they did it on The Godfather Part 2, because then it made sense. But a lot of times in these things, sometimes it doesn't make sense and it doesn't correlate. That was my problem with watching The Last Dance for the first time. I was like, okay, we're going back and forth so many times, but they don't match, so I don't understand what the correlation is. Anywho, I thought they did a great job with that in a documentary with the Cowboys. But my first takeaway, and my number one takeaway, and why I'm really switching how I feel about the Dallas Cowboys, is that Jerry Jones is one charming mother. In his Libra charming smile and tone and words, man, he knows how to sell and advocate for him and his brand, and in a way to where it seems like you're benefiting, or you're going to have a chance to gain something from this partnership, or whatever it is, or whatever he's presenting. But man, I came away from this documentary really admiring, learning, and liking Jerry Jones. And yes, it may be biased because it's his documentary about his team and it's his side of the story, and we don't know all the dirt on him. But it's like everybody got dirt. Michael Irvin said something interesting in this documentary. He was like, everybody has two people: the one you see and the one nobody ever sees or you don't want anybody to see. And no, we didn't see that side of Jerry Jones. And there has been accusations and reports about some disgusting and disturbing things that he's done. Of course, with some racial stuff too. There was some, I remember something with some young ladies, I don't know, 12 or 13 years ago in like 2012, 2013. He was on an elevator or something. I don't know, dog. But of course, they didn't show that part of him. But the good parts that they showed, his business acumen, his guts to go against the league and all the owners and to countersue them when he was getting all his sponsorship money and all. Like Deion said it best in the documentary. He said he was putting the NFL on game. He was. Whether it was ethical or morally right or not, I don't know. That's not up for me to decide. I know that comes into question with this debate with him. But man, I came away liking Jerry Jones. And I felt like I learned so much from him and what he was able to do and how he was able to transform, along with a lot of help from a lot of people. Because that was the basis of this documentary, is ego. Jerry Jones and his ego. But if you know football, and I grew up with the 90s Cowboys, unfortunately, they was whooping everybody's ass, including the Chiefs' ass on Thanksgiving of 1995, which was not a good Thanksgiving. It was okay, but just that loss was bad. Chiefs went 13-3 that year. But if you know football, you know and you understand that Jimmy Johnson was the clear engine of the Cowboys winning culture in the 90s. You know it. I knew that it was Jimmy Johnson. I mean, a lot of people did, and they played their parts. But Jimmy Johnson was so crazy about winning that he knew he had to divorce his wife after 27 years of marriage to be successful.
Damn.
That's crazy.
Lord have mercy.
Now, I assume that, and look, I don't know. Marriages are complicated. I assume that him and his wife were okay, though. Maybe they weren't. I don't know. Maybe he was looking for an exit plan. But to me, 27, to end something, a marriage, man, to end a marriage after 27 years because you know it's going to interfere with you winning in football, in the National Football League. And look, man, and that's a part of knowing your spouse and knowing who you married to as well, man. Maybe he knew that his wife wasn't finna deal with what he was finna put her through. Maybe he knew that, look, what we about to go through, you're not going to like, you're going to be miserable, you're not going to like me. Let's just do it now. And so that's smart, that's foresight. But a lot of people would not do that. Some crazy people would. Some crazy people about success would. And think about this too. Would you even want to work for somebody that's dedicated like that? A lot of people wouldn't. Because what they require of themselves may be what they require of you. So that might force you to get to a place where you might have divorced your spouse in order to be successful, to accomplish what you need to accomplish under his tutelage. Look, it's a deep, deep thing with that. But if Jimmy Johnson, though, his work ethic and what he put into the Cowboys and how he would work those guys and how the bar was all of a sudden raised, how the standard was raised, man, immediate success. But that's nuts. That you want to win that bad, but that's what it takes though a lot of times in these high functioning professions. You going against the best of the best, and the best of the best is going to do whatever it takes to win. And if you're not willing to dig that deep and do what it takes like that to win, then you're not going to win. You're not going to beat that person. So sometimes it's all about outworking your opponent. But I felt like, Troy Aikman, I felt like I could identify with him and how he was raised, his toughness. Him like Jimmy Johnson, he might have been a perfect quarterback for Jimmy Johnson. I don't think Troy Aikman ever got married or anything like that. And I could tell that he was willing to do whatever it took to win. And then the thing that I think pissed Troy Aikman off the most, of course, having Barry Switzer and not Jimmy Johnson, but when you're a person of success and you know what strong leadership is and you know what a good coach is, when that standard is up there and you get somebody else in there trying to tell you what to do or trying to lead you and they're not doing it right or how you think is right, if their work ethic slips, there's no way you're going to trust that person to lead you. There's no way you're going to trust that person to, okay, yeah, I can depend on them to do their job and see things that I can't see, especially on the football field. So, to me, man, Barry Switzer's approach was one of the things that led to the demise of the Cowboys in the 90s. Because he was more cool and laid back than Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson put his foot in them boys' ass. From day one, cutting your running back in the middle of a game after he done fumbled twice is cold-hearted, but sometimes it's necessary, especially when you see the vision yourself and you know there are certain things that you cannot deal with to put up with on your own team. So Barry, I think that Switzer's approach to these Cowboys, and they were able to squeeze out that Super Bowl in 1995. It led to recklessness, especially with Michael Bumpy Johnson Irvin. I knew that he had gotten into trouble. Like I thought it was like more drug related, cocaine stuff or whatever. Bruh, I didn't know about no hitman or nothing. I didn't know nothing about none of this. Like them boys in Dallas, they was really doing it whatever the hell they wanted to do. And I know and I understand that like with winning comes a certain amount of grace, a certain amount of favor, a certain amount of I'm going to get away with whatever the hell I want to get with. Hell, it might be having it right now with our very own Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know. But I can understand, though, how, these superstars could be doing some of these things in Dallas, especially when you coming home with Lombardi trophies and you winning. But unfortunately, all that stuff catches up to you, man. And it caught up with them. But the biggest thing in the demise with the Cowboys, and really what this documentary is all about, and it's weird, maybe it's not weird, maybe this is all how it was supposed to happen, that this Micah Parsons trade is kind of like a microcosm of Jerry Jones and his ownership of the Cowboys. Is that I felt like that Micah Parsons trade was 100% an ego trade. 100% pride, ego. You're not dictating the terms. You ain't telling me, okay, fine, I'm going to just trade your ass. When man, it's complicated on both ends because as a player, I'm pretty sure, he didn't appreciate the disrespect towards his agent and the media, or who knows what the conversation that was going on in the back rooms. Who knows? Who knows what was said? Because with that documentary, Jerry Jones says whatever the hell he wants a lot of times. And sometimes I feels like he just don't give a damn. Either way, repercussions or not. So, man, to this day, man, that trade, I think another thing with the Micah Parsons trade is that I think Jerry Jones low-key wanted to make sure that he got all the credit for some trade. Since he didn't get all the credit, I guess, for the Herschel Walker trade, he's going to get all the credit for this Michael Parsons trade. And unfortunately, it may not be good credit. Dia Wall, playmaker, Jay Tuck, my deepest condolences, man. It's a tough time to be a Cowboys fan right now because if your GM is messing up, and he's not the owner of the team, you can petition and drum up noise to get them fired and get them removed, like how the Chiefs Kingdom did with Scott Pioli in 2012. But Cowboys, y'all kind of stuck in a little place because your owner is your GM. So I guess Jerry Jones is turning into Al Davis right before our very eyes.
I want me some glory hole.
Fit check, yeah, that's me.
Well, the secret is you got to coordinate. Most people don't coordinate. So you got to coordinate.
Yes, that's what you did.
The return of Fit check. This time we got visuals. So I'm very excited about that. Let's get right to it. Chiefs, Chargers in Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Rio de Janeiro and Sao Paulo, Brazil.
This is the only one we can do this week. I also have some other thoughts on some other uniform things coming up in a second. But, of course, with Fit Check, I will go over the previous week's uniform and give you a prediction on what the Chiefs are going to wear this week. My prediction is, since the Chargers are going to go sky blue jerseys and gold pants, why not go all the way AFL? Chiefs, rock all white with the Red Sox. Don't go red pants. The last time we saw us in red pants, it did not go well. Just come out with the all white with the Red Sox, though. Come out with the Red Sox, and it'll be a beautiful game in Sao Paulo, Brazil. I cannot wait to see what the Chiefs come out rocking, man. But other uniform thoughts, quickly. These rivalry uniforms are trash, and I don't understand why the NFL has them. Why are we implementing this? Why? What is the purpose? What's the point? These uniforms don't scream rivalry to me at all. They scream, oh, Nike wants some extra checks. That's what it screams to me. Okay, there are a couple good ones. I love the Jets one. I ain't gonna lie to you. The Jets one is cold-blooded, but and the Patriots one too. I like the Patriots one. The Bills one is kind of cool too. The Dolphins one, absolutely 100% organic USDA certified dumpster juice. I just don't get the purpose of these. Rivalry uniforms to me are the old school uniforms. This doesn't scream rivalry at all. Just don't be like the NBA, NFL. Y'all got to take a timeout with the uniforms right now. It's way too many. And this rivalry thing is just going to add extras. We don't need it. I'm going to tell you this. And I know there are several people like me who cannot watch certain NBA games because the uniforms are so different from what we know them as. It's like, all right, the Warriors tonight are wearing lime green and orange. The for? You are blue and gold. What are you doing? And to casual NBA or NFL fans, if you don't pay attention to the NFL like that, and you see these different ass uniforms, and I'm talking about like real casual fans, not hardcore NFL fans like you and I, but like real casual fans who really don't pay attention to the game that much, but want to watch the superstars. And I guess you're dependent upon your players and those superstars, you know, for people to watch. But for casual NFL fans, this could have an effect on them, like it has on me with the NBA. It's just certain teams, I want to see their uniforms and their colors. To me, it messes up the marketing of the teams long term in some cases. But look, those are just my thoughts on these rivalry uniforms. I know the Chiefs are going to have one of these coming up soon, and I am not looking forward to it. Teams that need new uniforms. The New Orleans Saints, simply because they don't wear the gold enough. You know, they like to wear that ugly-ass all black with them gold-ass helmets. Don't understand that. I am excited to see their new alternate helmet, though. The new white one they got, excited to see that. Tennessee Titans, they need new uniforms right now, ASAP. They look too cartoonish, and I know they just came out with these, 4 or 5 years ago. Hated them then, hate them now. They look so unprofessional and terrible. Seattle Seahawks, just go back to the regular blue and lime green that you had in the 90s. That was good. The uniforms you have now, they were good for their era. they look a little dated now, man. They look a little 2000 or 2010s, man. And you already know my last complaint with uniforms. The Steelers must go back to block numbers. I don't get why they are in these ugly-ass italics that they've had for almost 30 years now when the block numbers look... First off, not only do they look better for the Steelers, but they look more menacing, like just as a football team. Steelers, go back to the block numbers. But the last thing with the fit check is that I am so excited to see a lot of these throwbacks. Just mentioned Seattle. They got throwbacks coming up this year. Tampa Bay has some new ones. The Jaguars. There are a number of throwbacks. Those are just to name a few, but I cannot wait to see some of those, especially those 90s throwbacks. And the Bills, they got their red helmet that they're going to be coming out. Man, look, it might be the 90s again in the NFL as far as uniforms concerned. And the more 90s you are, the better off you look, to be honest.
Shut up, Brian.
Woo, that's my time for this week, man. I appreciate you for tapping in to Brian's World. And thank you to my fam at Foolish Club Media. Make sure you subscribe, review, and rate everywhere where it's available, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and on YouTube. And, of course, you on that YouTube, make sure you click the Be Shynin page, Brian Be Shynin, to check out every single episode of Brian's World that drops Wednesday. Of course, every single, everything, all the other things that I do with Hustle and Shine in Morning, mixes, beats, all that type of stuff, all at the Be Shynin page on YouTube. And the roller coaster starts. Holla at you next week, week 2, as the Chiefs prepare to get it back in blood against these Philadelphia Eagles with the home opener at Arrowhead. I'm sure that Chiefs Kingdom is going to be rabid dogs coming up next week. We'll see what our boys do in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Until then, Kansas City, please be a blessing. And Chiefs Kingdom, mount up!
Shut up.